What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar. We are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 13th of April, and we have closed above 2 cents 2 days in a row now. That's something we haven't done since the end of February. 2 cents was holding us down. It was holding us as support beforehand, and now holding us down as resistance. It might still even be acting as a point of resistance, but we're nonetheless closing above it for 2 days in a row. It's nice to see. Getting pretty overbought readings on the daily RSI. However, we have seen higher readings than this in the times before. This is not the highest reading. In fact, one could argue that whenever we get overbought, this is actually a lower reading, a below average reading compared to the norm here. So sometimes you do tip the overbought zone and reject, but this is different, right? Clearly this is different. And for these moments that are a little bit more pronounced, this is a pretty low reading. So all I'm trying to say by that is I don't think we stop here. Or if we do stop here, it's very brief, but we continue, right? We're not going through another consolidation phase here. However, I'm not necessarily expecting that we continue to move at this pace every single day. You know, maybe when we move at this pace. What do I mean by that? I mean, maybe we consolidate for a week. Maybe it's less than a week. Maybe it's over a week, but a little bit of time. Maybe it's just 3 days. And then when we do move up, it'll be fast and short-lived, and then we consolidate again, and then we move up, right? That's kind of how OnyxCoin likes to move up. If we notice here, right, last time, and I don't think it'll be this fast. I think that it'll be slower. This was 2 weeks just to get from, to pull a 20x essentially. I don't think they were going to do a 20x in 2 weeks, but if we do, that'd be magnificent. I'm not going to be upset with that. We just might have to rethink our high targets, which at the moment are at about 26 cents. But if we can't, if we do see this kind of growth in a very short amount of time, we might have to bring those high targets down. Yes. If we move up faster than expected, we're probably going to have to change our targets, because that kind of erratic, chaotic, euphoric behavior creates a lot of growth in a short amount of time, and it gets people involved who are pump chasers, and pump chasers are not strong hands, they're paper hands, right? So that kind of unstable building as we move up super fast sets a very loose kind of foundation to topple out from before we can get any higher. Does that make sense? So we don't want to see this. I mean, maybe you do if you want just quick money, and don't we all want quick money? But if you want to get to 20 cents or above, if you want to get to 20 cents or above, it can't happen in the next 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks at this rate, right? Because look at this move here, right? Just from this relative low to that relative high, that was a less than 2 week period. We're already from this low 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in. So we would have about a week to go. I don't want to see this kind of growth in the next week. I mean, I'll take whatever we get. I'm happy with a 15 cent or an 11 cent, 12 cent price. But if we do something like that, again, this could be the area we stop at, not 20 cents or more. You know, wind it back. Hold that thought. Okay, I very much do believe we're going to see prices above 20 cents. I think the OnyxCoin is going to go to 26 cents. That's the whole point that I'm addressing here, is that I think we're not just going to consolidate for a short amount of time like this and then move up again like that, right? I mean, maybe kind of in a short amount of time like this, but it might be a little bit longer, and we might move up a little bit less. Still pronounced moves, still very strong moves, right? Stronger than these moves, but maybe not as big as these moves, or what the first 3 days presented us here, right? We might see some more constructive behavior, and it might be a little bit more volatile along the way, finding resistance at prior resistance, finding support at prior resistance, prior support, stuff like that, and just slowly but surely building. And once we get going, once we break out of our relative consolidation phases, we'll see some fast movements up. That's kind of the expectation of how this thing should move. For what that's worth. Looking at this on a daily time frame, again, overbought right now. We could cool off a little bit, and if we do continue to consolidate enough for this to get out of the overbought zone, maybe we're at the 60, maybe we're at the overbought zone, stuff like this. This does present a buying opportunity, and wherever the price is, depending on where we are over the coming days, I definitely would get back in before this next move comes. And yes, I said get back in. I sold a very, very small amount of my OnyxCoin. I let a lot of people know on X.com. I made a post about it. I talked about it in yesterday's video, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but I have not gotten back into it yet. And it was not the best price to sell retrospectively or prospectively. I don't know. Knowing what I know now, it wasn't the best area to sell at 1.911 cents. But the reason why I did sell around here was we were very close to this area where we found support, resistance. I'm absolutely blown away with the fact that OnyxCoin moved up all the way up here. But even though it moved up higher, much higher than where I sold, I did not buy back. I'm just being patient, waiting. I know that nothing moves up in a straight line forever, and if it does, that's great. I only traded about 2%, 3% of my OnyxCoin hold, so it's not a large portion, but I'm just talking about this right now in case anybody's curious if I got back in. No, I have not, with that very small amount for OnyxCoin, just the trading bag, as it should be a very small amount for trading. I have not gotten back in with that. I will get back in at lower prices. I believe we're going to go down to prices below 1.7 cents, and that's where I'll be buying. Why do I think we'll go below 1.7 cents? Well, from a low to a high here, I believe that we are going to hit this 382. The way that we're interacting with the 236 right now, the way that we've done this, it just, to me, it's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable that we'd go here. So I'm being patient. I do think that we're going to continue to move up. I just don't think it has to be today, right? It's likely that we do consolidate for not just today, but probably the coming days of early next week. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we started next week off to the downside. And I think that downside will bring us around 1.66 cents or lower. We could go, you guys, we're on top of the world. We're at the moon right now at 2 cents, right? Compared to a 0.00755 cent price or a dollar price the other day. We're on top of the world right now, but we could give a lot of this back. Mind you, we could go all the way down to 1.23 cents, 1.12 cents, somewhere in this area, and that's a perfectly fine area to find support. It does not, and I wouldn't necessarily expect that we see the same kind of strong maneuvers that we saw last time. I mean, yes, when we're moving up, we can, but there might be some more volatility here. We might have a little bit more play going on, and we'll see. That's kind of what I've been expecting throughout this whole time. I've been saying that for months, but we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. We don't have to, just because I'm expecting more play does not imply, it does not mean that we have to go to the golden ratio. I'm just saying it's something we should expect, okay? If you don't expect it, if you don't take it into consideration, if a big move down like this, seemingly big move, which ultimately is a higher low, ultimately you're finding support at the golden ratio, prior areas of resistance back here, probably some significance back here and even back there, prior areas of support, right? A relatively good area to find support at. Even if we pulled back down there, and that's a great area to buy, if you're not expecting it because you're looking back in time and you're expecting that the price moves exactly like this, there's not going to be a big drop along the way. You're going to be sorely mistaken. And to get the facts clear, we did drop in a very short amount of time from a high to a low here. We dropped like 50%, guys. And that was actually, we did another drop here that was quick. It was a 50% drop. We pumped back up another 50% drop. Like in the course of 2 days, we saw multiple 50% drops all in the same area. So we can see some rapid decline. It's nothing to be afraid of. As long as we're holding structure, as long as we're in this positive formation of the breakout on this bull flag, we've only got one target destination, and that's 15 cents or higher, right? My expectation is we don't stop at 15 cents. My expectation is we see 26 cents thereabouts, just above, just below. My reasoning for that is if we take this high to low here, we've got, I believe it's our 1886, yes, right there at the 26 cent area. If we go on a 3-day basis, am I on the right? I am on the right one. Okay. We go all the way out to this one here from a high to a low. We found resistance right here at this 2618. You see this red line? I'm going to delete this fib, and you can see that the top there is at perfect levels with that 2618, that fib there. From a high to a low, this extension, the 1886, lines up very well with the high to low extension of this 3786. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to go there, but we went from the 2618 all the way down to the 1618 here, kind of found support at the 1414. It's not uncommon in these kind of deep extensions to deep retracements to go to the next levels to like the 2886, 3786, somewhere in this zone. And I don't think we're going to stop at 10 cents. I don't think we're going to stop at 7 cents. So the only next likely area based off of this more predominant fib, longer lived fib, and respected fib throughout all this time. I mean, if I delete the relative fib here, you look at it, I mean, we found resistance here at the 786, support right there at the 382, resistance right there at the 382, support right there at the 2618, resistance right there, support at the 1414 right here, all the way back here. We're finding resistance now at the 2272, right? We're showing respect on this thing, and I think that we'll continue to. If we break above the 3113, this zone here, the orange zone, the 3113 and the 2886, if we break above 10 cents, we're not stopping anywhere other than 20 cents. Okay, and then same thing goes for this fib. If we break above the 1618, we're not stopping anywhere other than 26 cents. So something between 20 and a half, 26 cents, and maybe even above that is something to consider. How much higher above that, I don't know. We could go above 30 cents, but I don't like talking about that. I'd rather be surprised than leave people expecting stuff like that. What I would say that we should expect is something at least above 15 cents, and I wouldn't expect anything that's I would at least above 15 cents, but not above, let's say probably like 33 cents. It could even go higher than that, to be completely fair, but I don't know. That one's harder to say. I've 26 to 15 cents, specifically that 26 to 20 cent area is what I'm thinking about, but I'm scratching my head a little bit too much. I think you guys get the point. Okay, we're going to be on a pause. OnyxCoin is not broken. Do not get shiny object syndrome. This is a dangerous syndrome where over the last 2 days, you might see that OnyxCoin is moving sideways and being boring. This isn't what I signed up for. I wanted the pump all the time. And you might get shiny object syndrome when you see a coin like this, a coin that, I don't know, maybe one of your favorite YouTubers talked about and it recently pumped. You know, I don't normally say stuff like that, but I'm just saying that for an example. Maybe there's a coin that you were aware of, but you didn't buy, and now you see it doing this. You're like, huh, I should sell my boring, even though it's not boring coin, boring for a day coin, for the coin that's exciting. But now you set yourself up in a position where the coin you were convicted in, the coin you've got a game plan for, you're going all the way up to the certain areas that we've talked about, we've discussed, that you've discussed in your own head, and that you've got plotted out on your charts in your own coordinated plans and efforts, hopefully. None of this is financial advice on that note. I'm not a financial advisor, but these areas that we've considered, that all goes out the window whenever you invest in something new just because it pumped. And also when something pumps, it's likely to pull back and see some volatility. So don't chase pumps. I'm just using Cookie Dow. I actually like Cookie Dow a lot. I think it's going to go up a lot, but I'm not trying to divert from OnyxCoin. I'm just saying, do not get shiny object syndrome. Do not get bored. OnyxCoin is not broken. If you could go through all of this, I promise you can last over the next week or so that it consolidates. It might not even be a week. Maybe we start moving up today. But and this thing likes to defy gravity. It likes to defy me as well. So if I say it's going to consolidate for a week or more, it's probably less than a week that will consolidate. But soon enough, we will begin moving up higher. By the end of this month, it wouldn't surprise me if we were above these highs. It's already the 13th now. We're midway through the month. Why risk it whenever you probably will, by the end of this month, see something that's, again, more than 150% in growth just from the current price. If it goes down, it's a better time to buy. If it goes down and another coin that you're looking at goes up, please don't get shiny object syndrome. Sell your quote unquote boring coin for the exciting coin. Don't, if you chase the pumps, you'll never get in on them beforehand, right? Anytime that you see a pump happen, you're buying up here and you're like, man, I wish I bought down here. So then you buy up here. That doesn't make any sense, right? Why not look for a coin? And that's what we did yesterday with Cookie. We looked for a coin that hadn't pumped yet and it was at a nice low point. Right, not saying that Fourth hasn't pumped yet either, but it's kind of consolidated a little bit more. Where XCN has just recently started to consolidate. And I'm not trying to throw shade at XCN or throw other coins attention, but I'm just saying there's what I'm trying to throw attention is the thought, the methodology, right? If you're just laser focused on one thing, and you don't look at anything else, that's fine. But if you aren't laser focused, if you look at XCN, but then you're looking at all these other coins but not getting into it, and you get shiny object syndrome, that's going to be a problem, right? You need to be laser focused. You need to stick to the plan and don't get distracted. And if you have extra money that you want to put, and I'm not just talking about these coins, but any other coin, any other cryptos, you can do that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You can do that, but just don't play with something that you already have a well thought out plan and structured kind of ideas in your head of what the path forward should look like. I don't know. C-Zar the dad is done ranting. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Essentially, I think OnyxCoin is going to consolidate. It's going to be boring for a day or two. Be patient. Maybe it'll be a week or two. I doubt it. But a little bit of volatility. Do not be scared if we go down to 1.1 cents. Do not get too excited if we go up to 3.3 cents. We could very well see some volatility still. I don't think that we're going to be above this high anytime over the next 7 days. OnyxCoin likes to defy me. Watch us do that. But I do think that we'll consolidate. We'll play around in this range a little bit more before the end of this month. And then as we get to that last week at the end of the month, or even the last 2 weeks, week and a half, that's when we'll start to move up. So I think we've got a little time to play with here, get set up. I got nothing else to say. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. OnyxCoin is going to go above 20 cents, 26 cents. Somewhere in that area is my ultimate thoughts. So take care. Bye-bye. That's all.